Welcome to How It Works, a video series from Law Sites and LawNext in which you get to see hands-on demonstrations of legal tech products directly from their developers. I'm Bob Ambrogi. In today's episode, we're going to get a demonstration of Chamelio AI, a legal intelligence platform for in-house legal teams. Here to tell us all about it and show us how it works is Alex Zilberman, co-founder and CEO of Chamelio. Alex, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bob. It's great to be here, and thank you for having me.
So before we launch into the demonstration, Alex, tell us a little bit about Chamelio and what you do.
Sure. As you mentioned, Bob, we are the legal intelligence platform. We've built a solution that is tailor-fit for in-house legal professionals' needs, and we try to cover end-to-end all of those potential needs, from contract review and negotiation to a repository, to a smart intake, and a collaboration platform that will be launched soon as well. And I will be demonstrating two of those models today to you.
All right, and I know today you're going to be showing us Chamelio Negotiate and Chamelio Core, so why don't we launch into it? Want to go ahead and share your screen and show us how it works?
Sounds good. Happy to do so. Let me share my screen 1 second. As I said, today we will be talking about two of our modules, Chamelio Negotiate and Chamelio Core. The first module we will focus on is the Chamelio Negotiate. The Chamelio Negotiate has two main parts. The first one is a playbook manager, which is managed through our web interface, and also a Word add-in that you can use and leverage directly from Word. The first stop is our web interface. In this web interface, we allow our users to build robust and intuitive AI-based playbooks that they can leverage then after when they need to review any contract that comes in onto the plate directly from Word. So let's start by taking a look at the playbook manager. You can see I have multiple playbooks already set up. I'll just walk you really quickly how you can set up a new playbook, which is a very unique way that we have it done on our system. When you set up a new playbook, you can select either setting it from scratch, completely blank page, from your own templates, or based on your past red lines. I'll select the main way that people usually use is from their existing templates. The first part is you need to select what type of a playbook you want to create. You can give it a unique name if you want. And then you can upload your own template that you use as your own first party. Here you go. Once the template is uploaded, the sides are detected. You can later upload also additional past contracts that were used in the same type of negotiations with which you'll extract alternative language that you used in the past. And you can also upload initial red lines that you usually do. Then we can learn them automatically, and also that will influence our playbook creation process. Once you're done, you will see this nice green V, and the system goes to work. Once the system is ready, you'll receive an email saying you have a new playbook ready for deployment. How the playbook actually looks like inside. If you'll take a look here, you'll see we have a very robust platform that allows you to control every and any aspect of your legal business point of view. You can select your risk levels. You can see what type of legal concepts and instructions were generated automatically by the system. You can edit them to your liking if you want. And you can see whether you accepted different alternatives using different language and different positions from those previously negotiated contracts you've uploaded. Once you're happy with aligning your playbook, we are good to go. And this playbook is already available for you in your Microsoft Word add-in. Now I will switch over to the Word add-in. Now you see, Bob, our Word add-in. In a Word add-in, which is easily available here in the Microsoft Word ribbon, we have a few sections. The first one is directly tied to the contract review and negotiation capabilities. Another one allows you different type of activities like proofreading and bespoke changes that you can do to the document, which I'll try to handpick a couple of examples and I'll show you, not to bore you with all the capabilities. If you would like to hear, you're more than happy to contact us directly and to see a full demo with all our capabilities. So let's start with the review. This is a case where you got a third-party contract from another side that you now need to review according to your playbook. You click on the review button, and the first thing we'll do is we'll analyze the document at hand, and we'll show you there are different parts of this document. There is an MSA, there's also insurance requirements, a security policy, confidentiality obligation, and other exhibits. Any time you click on something on a right panel, will always zoom in and highlight the relevant area in the document itself for your convenience. I will select the right area that I want to review. I will select the type of a playbook that I want to use. I'll click on review, and it will start the review process, which will take about 60 seconds. Now I want to save you that time, and I already ran a review. Once it's done, this is exactly how it looks like. It shows you this is 43% covered by your playbook. And once you go in, you will see all our recommendations in it. Our recommendations are separate into issues, unknown or some general red flags that we like to show, resolved items, which all of them are going to be green, and the rest of the items that requires your attention. If I'll just randomly pick any of the items for you to see how the interface looks and what it does, you will see very clearly, as I promised, on the left hand, we will focus on the relevant area, and on the right hand, we will show you the original text. In blue, you will see additions. In red, you will see deletions. Footnotes next to each recommendation explaining what playbook rule was used in order to generate this recommendation. And we will also allow you to apply this recommendation with a click of a button just by clicking apply, having it added directly into the document with your own author name and track changes enabled. And this way, you can go through all the recommendations at the type which we call failed. There is another type of recommendation which is missing. Missing means we read the whole document and we could not locate a customer identification obligation clause in this whole third-party document. So we went ahead and we made one for you based on the definitions from this contract, based on your own template and your own playbook. You can see all the playbook rules that were engaged in actually writing this clause. And now what you need to do is you need to pick where you want it to be added. As you can see, the button changed here to inserted cursor, means that now you need to select where, and put your cursor where you want this clause to be added. Let's make room for a new clause. Click insert add cursor, and this has now been added directly into the document, same way as it was with failed recommendation. The last thing I want to show you is that let's say you received a recommendation in the warranties and in the representations like this one, which tries to make it mutual if I see the actual recommendation. What you can also do is you can also talk to your red lines, and you can ask it to change the red lines according to any type or shape or form that you prefer it to be. And I'll demonstrate in a second exactly how it can work on a more broad scope. Okay, so now let me show you a couple of other things that you can do with our word edit. Now, besides reviewing by playbook, going one issue at a time and resolving until you're done, you can also use our request and agent capabilities. And I'll show you what do I mean by that and how does it work. Sometimes you don't want to review a full document by the playbook or a very elaborate review process. You know what you want to fix. You're looking at the document, you know what you want to handle. Mm-hmm. You don't need any special recommendations. You just need it to help you write what you need at the right place. So what we've built is a request agent that allows you to select the area that you want to handle, in this case, an MFN clause. You click on request, you add the relevant area to the context of our legal AI agent, and now you can talk to the document. You can say something like add standard exclusions. What the system will do now, it will analyze the type of clause you added to the context, and it will draft a proposed revision to the selected clause in a way that is similar to how we do it with review by playbook, which is very easy to consume directly from Word. So you can see, intuitively that this is the original text from the selected area, and this is the addition that our agent decided to add as part of the exclusions, or the standard exclusions. You can also follow up and ask to make it more aggressive, less aggressive, to cover specific language that you want. It will go ahead and regenerate it according to what you request specifically from it. And here as well, if you like what you see, You can go ahead, click apply, it will be added directly. So what I just showed you, Bob, is a way to implement very easily also changes that you know you want to make just by explaining to our system what is that you want to do. Now I want to switch over and show you another capability that you can do using our agent. To save you some time, I already ran it. What I did is I ran in our agent a function, review this contract for red flags. When would you use that versus the review by playbook, and why did we have it here? So sometimes you get a contract that you don't have a playbook for. You get a lease agreement. You get an odd type of vendor which is not really covered by the type of playbook that you have. It's very different. And you want to make sure that it still covers the important bases and that you are not exposing yourself. You want another set of eyes taking a look at it very quickly. So you'll go ahead into the agent and you'll click review and you'll type in review this contract for red flags. You will see in live all the reasoning process that it will go through. And then it will show you the critical red flags that it will identify. We will always allow you to see directly in the document the references of what it found. It will show you additional significant concerns, but we don't stop there, because if we'll just write you the things that we think might be interesting for you to review, that's less than half of the way, in my view. For it to be really useful, we need to recommend specific language with a click of a button that you can implement, even though it was not based on the playbook, and that's exactly what we do. So as a follow-up to the response of this agent, I wrote draft the corrections with a spelling mistake. Still, it was able, of course, to understand, and it went ahead and generated, boxes that handled each and every one of the recommendations one by one. So you can see again a box in the same interface that we created that allows you to see the original text, it allows you to see the recommendations that we suggested you do, and if you click apply, it will go ahead and it will apply it directly into the document. So this is coming from a different angle. So you can use our solution whether you have a playbook or not. We will cover the basis for all your red line and contract review needs. This is how you can use our agent. The last thing I want to show you from the Chamelio Negotiate module, and then I will move on to our next module, is how you can utilize even comments that appear in the contract. So let's do it live together. Review this contract, comments, and suggest answers to the requests. Now, based on what? If you just go ahead and hit enter, it will just generate potential answers, but not based on anything that you want or like. That's why we added also the ability to log in the web interface your own policies, Q&A policies, security policy, IT policy, signature right policy, insurance policy, and you can tie them into this agent. And now what it will do, it will review this contract, the comments in this contract, according to the Q&A policy. It will find the comment that has an answer, has a question regarding something. It will try also to generate a response based on our own policy. And look what it did. It says, according to looking at the contract, I found one comment from the customer on the MFN. So you can click on it. It will take you directly to the area with the comment. And they said, this is of course a demo, I wrote the comment myself. This is important to us, we would like this in. And based on your company policy that I mentioned, which you can also even click and see the specific citation that was used in the entire long company policy that is relevant to the MFN clauses, it says here is the suggested response, which is a proposed comment as a response, not a red line. We understand the importance, but we are unable to agree to MFN against our policy. We are pricing very yada yada. According to the policy, this was the answer that was generated. You can do two things. Either insert it as a new comment separately, depending, because this tool is also useful when you want to generate your own comments to a document, even if you didn't get comments. If you prefer to redline with comments and not with actual red lines. Some prefer to do that, so we support it here. Or you can easily copy it, paste it as a reply, and it will be added directly into the document. And this concludes our demo around the Chamelio Negotiate module.
And a very quick question, Alex, 'cause I know we're short on time here, but way back at the beginning when you created the playbook and you had the choice of doing it from scratch, from a template, or from red lines, had you done it from the red lines, I'm assuming the process would be you would upload documents that you had previously read. If you have a master services agreement, say, you would have uploaded ones you'd previously redlined, and then what would have happened? It would have created kind of a recommended playbook based on what you've done in the past?
Exactly, Bob. That's exactly what it have done. Yeah. It would identify red lines versus original text, and from each of those red lines, it would generate a rule to try and identify these areas and to handle them next time. Okay, Bob, now I will move on to the Chamelio core module, and I will explain how it works and what it does. I'll try to be very brief. So, our Chamelio core allows you to upload documents that already been executed, and we will help you using our Chamelio core to track their obligations, to find opportunities, and to be able to slice and dice your data in a very easy and intuitive way, which allows you to do literally anything that you want with the data. We support PDFs of all kinds, scan, digital, docx, any type of document you can think of, the system can support it. You upload either just by selecting the documents and upload to the system, or connecting to the popular data management systems such as a Microsoft OneDrive, Google Drive, or any of the other popular platforms like Box and SharePoint and whatnot. Once you've uploaded your documents, this is the view that you can see, which is fully customizable. You see here that each of those documents actually holds the original document that was uploaded to the system. You can always go and review and find any specific document that you want and take a look at it. You can see all the metadata that was extracted for each document. You can always see a short summary for each document. And you can also do interesting actions that will allow you to filter and find interesting information. So let's say I'll take our data and I will narrow it down to only take a look at our MSAs. So I click on filters, document type, master service agreement, done. Now it will filter and show only the relevant master service agreement that I selected. I can save any view that I want as a collection. A collection means that every time a new contract is added into the system and it triggers the same filters, it will automatically appear here, allowing you also in the settings to get a notification when a document is added automatically to a collection, which is very useful, and I'll explain in a second why. Once the collection is created, we allow you also to do some interesting additional slices and dices, like adding additional data columns. So you could add also auto-renewal, termination from convenience, notice period for renewal, notice period for termination. All of these fields has been extracted automatically when the data was uploaded to the system. No human intervention was used in order to actually generate this data. Any data point in this table that you click, we will open and focus at it. I will explain also why we think it's a yes, so you can feel comfortable about the analysis. If you hover around this area, we'll cite the original clause that was used. And if you click on it, we'll also scroll you to the relevant area in the document, showing you the clause that was used in order to determine the answer to that question. Now, I showed you a few questions that we've preloaded to the system. What happens if you now looking at all of your MSAs and you want to understand, for example, you got a task to understand what's the liability cap in each and every one of your contracts. That's going to be a project. But if you use a custom column and you're going to give it any name you want, like a liability cap, and you can ask what type of format you want to force the response to be. It can be a text, the actual clause, a number, date, a yes, no. I'm going to be quick and I'm going to show you. I asked it, what is the liability cap specified in this specific agreement? And I provided some context how I want to see the answer. I'm going to click create. What the system will do now, it will in real time create a new column right here at the end that will start populating with the answer to the question that I asked. And the very common questions would be, can I use the logo from the counterparty for my website? Do I have a termination for convenience, which we already extracted? Do I need to notify in case of a change of control? Any of these, any question that you want, you can ask. And the data is now being populated as we speak. And you can see that in a very clear way, it shows you what are the liability cap in each and every one of those contracts, allowing you to analyze very big, large of the data in a very easy way. You can also export it one click of a button to an Excel file that you can use, or you can share with anybody else on the team if you need.
Column persists beyond the session that you're in?
This column will persist. If I click Save Changes, now this column will be here forever. Any new contract that will be uploaded, and it's a master service agreement, this question will be asked and answered automatically. And you can actually, what some of our customers do is when it's a termination for convenience, yes, they automatically notify their finance department, because then you need to inform the revenue recognition. And this is a very cool and unique way of doing that. A quick thing that I'll show you. Let's take a look at all the MSAs that are ending in the next month. All right. And let's take a look at those that don't have an auto renewal. We'll need to renew them ourselves. All right. And then let's take a look at what we can do here. So if we don't have auto renewal and I selected next year. Let's select the next month. All right. Now we see that there is a SaaS agreement with Veridian that is auto-renewing, does not have auto-renewal and are ending soon. Let's try and do something about it. Let's go to our agent. Let's find that document and let's draft an amendment to extend this contract for another year with the same terms. Don't really have to fix it, but let's do it anyway. And now you can see that the system is starting to write an amendment for that specific contract with all the relevant information, allowing you to take this. Soon you'll have a button that will allow you just to, with one click of a button, to download as a docx, but you can take it and you can paste it into Word, and you'll have an amendment for extension of your specific contract with all the relevant information directly from your agent that is leveraging the fact that all your data is here. Any collection you've created in the past is available for you to easy to get back to it and see it once again.
So if somebody who's watching this video wants to maybe get their own demo or find out more, what's the best way for them to do that?
Go to our website, click on Book a Demo. We're super happy to do a full extended demo, answer any questions. We have many customers adopting this latest technology. It allows a lot of interesting automations that I have not covered in this session, and I'm happy to cover them over a demo. Bob, thank you so much for the time today.
Thank you for your time. Thanks for this demonstration. Really interesting product. That's it for this episode of How It Works. You can find the full series at directory.lawnext.com under the Resources tab, or find us on YouTube. Just search for How It Works. This is Bob Ambrogi. Hope you'll join us next time for another episode of How It Works.